Hey, welcome, friends. Remarkable Results Radio's episode 493. Now, this is a first. I've taken a Carmcast and I'm publishing it as a Remarkable Results Radio podcast. Now, I thought it's so important that I wanted to expand the reach for this message.
But you really made me dig deep and think about what I was going to do, why I was going to do it, and how I was going to execute it. So I thank you for that. But to answer your question...
Welcome, aftermarketers, to Remarkable Results Radio. Listen to learn just one thing from today's episode on your journey to remarkable results. Hi, friends. Carm Capriato here, the Aftermarket Podcast Guy. Now, Remarkable Results Radio, we are proud to partner with Napa Auto Care and the 2020 Napa Expo. Join Napa, including suppliers, industry experts, and your peers in Las Vegas, April 6th through 9th, 2020. If you've not written that down, it's still not too late. At the Expo, you'll discover the latest news and industry information and hear all about upcoming trends. So contact your Napa store for the details and how to enroll. Hey, remember the website, remarkableresults.biz, has great resources. So besides every podcast being broken down into series, we have a books page that spotlights every book mentioned on the show, social page, and the listening app page. Lots of great stuff there, lots of resources. Spend some time with remarkableresults.biz. Hey, by the way, has any of your friends ever recommended a movie to you? Well, I bet you they have. Now, it's no different than telling a friend about the podcast. Sharing the podcast, it helps the entire industry discover trends, insights, and hear the voices that are helping to shape a stronger aftermarket. Hey, do your part to help lift all ships. Okay, here's a first. Let me explain. I do Carmcasts live on most Wednesdays at noon Eastern, live on Facebook. These are short shows that sometimes have themes and guests. They're repurposed on the website, and it's all about the aftermarket. And they're less formal than the other podcasts. Go give all of them a listen. I think I got about 50 some up there. Just this past week, I had a Carmcast and got together with Tom Palermo and Danny Sanchez, and I asked them, hey, what are you going to do more of in 2020? Well, the result was so good that I wanted to share their insights with a much larger audience. Hence, I'm releasing it here as a Remarkable Results Radio podcast. Since 2020 is right on our doorstep, you may just write down a few thoughts that get sparked by this discussion. Now, the whole idea here is to share this with you so you can work toward greatness. And if you're successful, and I know you work hard at it and strive to get better each day, I also know your fuel comes from learning new things and inspiration from others. Hey, here's to another great year. Hey, everybody, Carm Capriato, 12 noon East Coast time. It's another Carmcast. It's actually Carmcast number 53. I decided to bring on Tom Palermo from Preferred Automotive Specialists in Philadelphia, PA. Always good to have you on, Tom. And Danny Sanchez, the CEO of Auto Shop Solutions, who's in the thick of everything that we do in the industry.
It's just suffering in the sunshine here, yes.
Right, yeah. Don't rub it in, Danny. Don't rub it in.
Yeah, I know. It's always great. It's always good to be live on Facebook and then talk about what's going on in all the different parts of the country. And so that you all know, if you love what you hear today about the things we're going to do more of, I got this team coming back on the first Wednesday in January, and we're going to talk about the antithesis of doing more, but what we're going to do less of. And I think both of those have impact on growing a great automotive aftermarket business. Tom, what are you going to do? What are you going to do more of this year? I mean, you don't have to give us everything right now, but get the dialogue started.
So, I'm really glad that you thank you for inviting me to this podcast. Well, actually, it's not a podcast. I'm sorry, it's a live cast. You really actually got me thinking. I mean, everybody makes New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But you really made me dig deep and think about what I was going to do, why I was going to do it, and how I was going to execute it. So I thank you for that. But to answer your question, I like everybody else, I immediately started, jotting down a list of things to do. And it ranges from ways of making sure that I'm staying focused in my business. For instance, we could do a better job with our digital marketing. Really, really excited about working with some of the companies that we're partnering with now. doing digital marketing and other forms of marketing like that, as well as some of the more analog kind of stuff like car care seminars for customers and doing, customer appreciation events. We actually we moved in, if anybody's seen me before on your podcast, we had a long journey into this new building that we're in. And we were finally able to get ourselves to be able to do our first customer appreciation event earlier this year. And it was a resounding success. And, it it really changed my philosophy, because it made me understand that we still, I've said this a million times, we do fix vehicles, but really ultimately we're in a relationship business. So those relationships with our customers and our vendors and our peers and all that need to be fostered. You can't just take them for granted. So one of my New Year's resolutions is to have us be more. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like we haven't been doing it, but I really want to push forward and try to really push on our networking with other shops, our networking with our customers, our networking with our vendors, and doing that in some kind of new ways, but also some old-fashioned ways that are proven to work, like customer seminar, customer appreciation, customer education seminars. Yeah. I actually do one of the other things that I do for my employees, which is kind of similar, is we'll have events where we'll all get together after work one night and we'll do, some little like ASE training events where we'll go through, do some practice tests and things like that for people that are going to get new certification. So I really want to focus on my relationships and building my relationships with everybody that I come in contact to, or with, I should say, in a different way than just shooting out an email, putting out a mailer, putting something on Facebook, that kind of. I really want to try to dig back down and get back to that, see it, feel it kind of thing.
Danny, I can't help but think of the word organic, and I don't know why, but if you're getting back to the basics in building relationships and customer appreciation meetings, think about back in the day. We did a lot of this stuff. And for somehow, did digital make us forget about that?
I don't think so. Just going back to your previous conversation, you talk about things you're going to do differently next week and exciting stuff. I'm just wondering if you're going to shave your beard, because Santa wants his beard back. So I was just curious if that was one of the changes that you had planned coming up. So
no, actually, no.
I think he has that trademark, doesn't he?
I think he might actually.
You know what? You guys have to stop and realize I would have to change all my marketing materials.
Nobody would recognize them.
And that would be a bummer. I know that. The rest of the type of marketing is far from dead. Even I do often make fun of the Yellow Pages, but back in the day we spent a ton of money on Yellow Pages, and I still say the same thing: is that if you happen to be in a marketplace that the Yellow Pages is still making the phone ring, well, then keep on doing it, because anything that produces enough revenue to pay for itself. So I mean, like I said about Yellow Pages, it's so old, but maybe there's still areas that it's actually still functioning in. But direct mail still very effective in a lot of the marketplaces. But really, customer service and working with others in the community and doing community outreach, much like Tom's talking about with doing classes, those kinds of things, they're still very, very powerful. Being involved with the Chamber of Commerce, being involved with the Rotary, Lions Club, and having your face out there doing community services is still one of the most powerful marketing things that you can do. Now, like Tom was saying before, you need to work on your digital marketing, because when people hear of you, one of the first things they go do is they're going to go look at your website and learn a little bit more about you. So those things need to be in place too. But that groundwork, that kind of giving back to the community, that involvement still has a large part in building a solid base of clients. No doubt about it.
You know what I heard, guys? I heard the word old school.
Mm-hmm. I think that some things still remain constant, no matter how much no matter how much technology they throw at us, and it's helped us in some ways, and in other ways, it's become a speed bump if you don't really know how to deal with it. But I think ultimately, it's still about having a relationship, no matter who it is, your customer, your employee, your vendor, another shop. And to that point, going back to that and creating a more collaborative environment with everybody ultimately helps you, because you're building value in what you do. You're not just fixing a vehicle. You're building more value into it. And as all the research shows, that is particularly important to some of the younger generations. They want value. They want more for their buck. So if they feel like they're getting more than just, I brought my car in and you put a set of brakes on it, thank you very much and goodbye, that there's a value there, and that, yes, the car can stop and the car is safe, but to keep them coming back, you've got to make them want to come back. And I think by doing these old school kind of organic is a great way to put it, Carm, things, you're able to expand you're able to expand your base and expand what you're able to offer your customers. And ultimately, that's what separates you from the competition.
Hey, it's Carm, and I'm back to talk Napa Auto Care and Auto Tech Training. Now, as a repair shop owner, you know technical training is essential in the ever-changing world of automotive technology. Or as one Auto Care owner put it, train or you'll phase yourself right out of business. Thanks to Napa Auto Tech, technicians can keep their skills sharp and their Napa know-how up to date by attending hands-on classroom-style training for almost every vehicle make and model. You can choose from classes in diagnostics, heating and cooling, electrical, electronics, brake systems, ignition and fuel systems, plus a whole lot more. Napa Auto Tech is the highest quality training the industry has to offer, and it's presented by experienced instructors who are ASE Master Certified technicians. Now, some have owned their own shops, and they all have a detailed automotive background. The trainers consistently receive excellent ratings from the technicians who attend. Even after the class is over, techs can access course information online with ClassPass. So when questions come up later, they can use ClassPass to get the answers 24/7 from any computer with an internet connection. Now, what's more, Napa Auto Tech has been accredited by ASE's Continuing Automotive Service Education Program, reviewed against industry standards, and approved by peers. Don't just take my word for it. Auto Care Center owners who have taken advantage of Auto Tech training say that well-trained technicians are helping to increase their shop's repair capability and raise bay productivity. Now that results in fewer comebacks, more satisfied shop customers, and reduced technician turnover. It's hard to beat that. Your Servicing Napa store can tell you even more about the benefits of Auto Tech training, plus the many other reasons to become part of the Napa family with over 17,000 Napa Auto Care Centers from coast to coast, making it the largest network of independent automotive repair shops in the country. You know, what I feel is we don't do enough of what's happening now in my world, where I'm standing, who I'm with, and the power. And so many people have told me this: the power of that camera and a particular picture could be a great Facebook post, could be an Instagram story, and all of these things that engage my customer, my world, my community, my ecosystem with what's going on in my world. And I think what you did say is, let's go back to being analog, but we need to capture analog with digital.
Be analog in a digital way,
yeah.
I guess would be the best way to describe it. You can't ignore technology, certainly. I mean, there's no, and who would want to? I mean, it's afforded us such great opportunities and the ability to do things that we never would have dreamed we would have been able to do before. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely abandon some of the things that worked before. Danny made a good point. Now, I can tell you the Yellow Pages don't work where I'm at, but I bet you somewhere there's somebody with a Yellow Page ad who's sitting here watching this saying, I don't know, man, the Yellow Pages work for me. So, right. Right. So there's no silver bullet to this thing. You kind of got to know your audience, and Carm, I'm sure you're an expert at this, and speak to them and develop those relationships.
So there is an update, Carm, that comes from this too. You talk about relationship building and kind of building that community around your business, because that does have a huge impact on everything. But there's something that has changed when you talk about that organic kind of relationship building that is different than it was just a couple of years ago, and it's very recent. Whereas now people have been exposed to many different types of sources of people trying to be more public. And you talk about influencer type marketing has kind of reached a peak over this last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And now the new thing that you find that comes out of all this now is you have to be authentic. That inauthentic kind of marketing, that inauthentic type of presenting yourself in a marketplace or trying to influence other people now is really easily exposed. It used to be where you could kind of get away with maybe things not looking quite so inauthentic, for using a different word. But now people are aware and they're watching out for it. So there is no more of this, hey, look how we're in the community and what a great business we are. But you're really not doing things that are truly helping, and you're really not doing it for the right reasons anymore. Those days are kind of over now. You've got to have your heart really in it for it to have a good impact.
Yeah, and I think that that's what separates the independents from some of the bigger box chains and dealership and the larger dealerships is that people still like that family atmosphere. They like to know who they go in to see every time. They like to feel like they have a connection with people they're doing business with. Because really, when you think about it, you look at some of the big players, and I was having a conversation with somebody about this just the other day. We had this, where I live, I kind of live on the edge of civilization. So there was a hardware store there. Great guy, family run, father and son. Nice store. They always had what I needed. I mean, they kept me from having to go to one of the bigger chains most of the time, unless I really needed a bunch of crazy stuff. And he closed. And he closed because he couldn't compete. This is an interesting, and now he's selling hardware. Okay. Well, we don't sell parts, or we don't sell, what we sell is service. We're selling ourselves. We're selling a service. So this puts us in a unique opportunity because yes, you could go to the dealer. Yes, you could go to a big box place, but that's all that anybody ever goes to anymore. So when they find a smaller business or an independent or, somebody that they feel like they can have a relationship with when it comes to whatever service they're looking for, they latch on to that. That's why you see so many smaller businesses that are plumbers, electricians, independent auto repair shops, things like that, because that's something that they just can't box up and put out there. You need the people, you need the mentality, and you have to be able to develop your customer base and not just treat it like an assembly line where people are coming in and out and that's it. If you do that, you're not going to succeed.
I love this. I have to tell you, I think I want to wrap this up because, Carmcasts are usually these short little tight vignettes of wisdom. You guys have brought so much here, in 2020. What are we going to do more of? I couldn't ask for, some better takeaways. Digital marketing, be more analog, find the organic side of what we do, appreciate our customers more, become stronger in networking, be authentic. I think, Danny, that was just huge. I have to tell you, that could be the moniker for 2020. Really, it could almost, I like that. It could almost be, that the thing you wake up every day and think about, how can, I need to be more authentic. How can my business be more authentic? How are my people more authentic? And then live in the world around you, go back to some of the old school ideas. And if you need to live in a digital world, then figure out how to be authentic and organic in it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Use the two of them to your advantage. It's really, that's really the key here. That's really the key.
This may have just been an unbelievable bonus episode. I may have to release this thing as a podcast. This was
think how great it would have been if we had Andy here too.
Yeah, I'm sorry that Andy didn't make it.
I feel so bad that Andy was in and then we lost him. But for sure, Andy will be part of what we do in a few weeks. Keep an eye out on Facebook as we bring these guys back and ask them the question in 2020, what am I going to do less of? Oh, my.
That's a harder question.
It is a harder question because you basically
Right,
dumped it all on the line right here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you probably got some bad habits, Tom. You could tell.
Oh, don't tell anybody.
Hey, thank you all so much for being here, and of course we'll publish this. We'll watch this on Facebook over the next few days, and it'll be on my Carmcast page later this afternoon as we can all watch the replay. Danny Sanchez, CEO Auto Shop Solutions, thank you for being here. And Tom Palermo, Preferred Automotive Specialists, Philadelphia.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Tom. Great seeing you. And wish everybody a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Carm. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.